Speeder, 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 zoom. Speeder, 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 zoom. Speeder, zoom, speeder, zoom, speeder, speeder, zoom! Sorry, I had absolutely no idea what to do with this intro, so I just figured I'd shoot my shot and see if I couldn't become a rap star overnight. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and guess that it didn't work. But you know what? That's okay, because this video is not about a musical career. It's about ranking every single speeder bike that LEGO has ever made. By my count, there are 63 of them, so this might take a while. So while I spend the next 5 or so hours of my life wondering why on earth I decided to make this video, please sit back, relax, and enjoy the next 15 minutes wondering why on earth am I watching this video. Coming in here at number 63 and number 62, we've got two of the junior speeders. These are both the exact same design, aside from the color, so I went ahead and threw the blue one up in front because blue is slightly more interesting than brown, but yeah, both of these speeder designs kinda suck. The 61st best speeder bike, aka the third worst one, is the Darth Maul speeder from the 2007 Sith Infiltrator. I love Darth Maul speeder design and universe, but they just did not do very well with this one. Now, these next three speeders are also all very similar. They are the original, well, I guess technically not original, but some of the original speeder bike designs that LEGO ever used. They're the chunkier ones, the ones that you see in LEGO Star Wars, the complete saga. So there's definitely a lot of nostalgia with these designs, but they are pretty chunky, and I mean, they're just really not that great. But yeah, there is a lot of nostalgia there for sure. And I put the Snowtrooper one at the front because it was the only white one, so it was slightly more interesting. Now coming in at number 57 is this Polybag speeder bike. Now, I don't even remember what year this is from, but I know that this one is pretty nostalgic for a lot of people. It is not at all nostalgic for me, however. I think that this is pretty ugly, so it's going way down here at the bottom. Coming up next is the speeder bike from the Clones vs. Droids Battle Pack in 2024. I don't think that I'm alone in thinking that this is just a pretty ugly speeder design. I certainly think that it had the potential to be really cool, but it just kind of ended up looking a little bit derpy. Up next is the 2024 Darth Maul speeder bike, which is much better than the 2007 one, but I still think that this one just did not turn out all that great. After that, we have the speeder bike from the other Young Jedi Adventure set, which I think is actually not that bad. It's just, it looks a little bit too simplistic, so it goes kind of down at the bottom here. After that, we have what are the actual original LEGO Star Wars speeder bike designs, and honestly, I think that these ones are much less rudimentary looking than the ATTE speeder that we saw just a minute ago. I think that these ones actually look pretty good considering that they were like original. After that, we have this Stormtrooper speeder, which is a much better remake of the exact same speeder design from the Polybag. It just looks so much better, so much cleaner. It's not too bad. Now, these next several speeders are all incredibly similar designs, so I'm just going to kind of let the pictures run through while I talk about why I put certain designs ahead of others. Like, for example, I think that the longer, flatter piece works a lot better for the top of the speeder there up front than the shorter, steeper sloped pieces that some of the older models had. I also think that when these speeders have those little bars down on the bottom to represent some extra blasters, I think that that is a much better look for this design, and I love seeing those on these speeders. And, you know, it's honestly kind of crazy just how long this speeder bike design persisted for. Like, I grew up thinking that this speeder design was going to be the speeder design that LEGO used until we all died. I mean, it was every Imperial speeder bike that you saw. Now, next up is this thing right here, and I'm not even sure if this technically counts as a speeder bike, but I personally don't really like the design. I mean, it's big, which is nice, and it's got some of those cool rubber pieces, but other than that, I'm just like, it's really not that cool. And I kind of feel the same way about this one. I mean, it is definitely a lot better than the one that we got in 2024, but I don't know, it just doesn't really do it for me. Now coming in next is this Darth Maul's speeder bike, which, as I am editing this video, I am realizing that it is actually the exact same speeder bike that came in this set, so there are actually only 62 speeder bike designs. I don't really feel like going back and changing it, so we're just gonna stick with it, guys. Coming in at number 38, we've got this speeder bike from the 2005 Turbo Tank, which is like actually really cool. Like, they did a really good job with this one, which is kind of surprising because like it was still 2005, but no, they actually knocked this one out of the park. After that, we have the speeder, which came in the 2013 gunship, and I love this thing. And then we have the 2011 Darth Maul's speeder. I don't know, maybe I should have put the 2024 one ahead of this one, but this one is just a lot bigger. It looks more accurate, so I like it a little bit more. Coming in next, we've got the Count Dooku speeder from his Solar Sailor, which I think that this is 2008. I'm pretty sure that this was 2008. Might have been 2009. I don't really remember. But after that is this brown speeders from the Rebels Battle Pack in 2015. Now, this thing, I think it's a little bit too back heavy. Like, it looks fine, but I don't know, it's just, it feels chunky as well. Next up, we have the 2015 Darth Maul speeder bike, which I own this set and I love this speeder bike. I think it looks so cool, so maybe I'm a little bit biased there, but I think that this one is the best one. The next two entries on this list are the Mandalorian speeders from the Mandalorian Battle Packs. Now, I'm not even sure if these technically count as speeder bikes, but I just went ahead and threw them in here because they're one-seater speeders. Try saying that 5 times fast, so close enough, you know. At number 30, I think that this speeder from the Tusken Raider Encounter set was actually really good. Like, I love the dark red color. I just think that this speeder turned out really amazing. And then right next to it, we have the other speeder set from the same year. That is Count Dooku's speeder. I know that this one is technically the wrong color and everything, but it kind of gives it a unique charm that I really like. These next two entries are some of the OG Rebel sets. Well, technically it was only one set, but it came with 2 different speeders. They were the exact same build and everything, just a color swap, and I put the green one up first because I think it looks a little bit cooler than the white one. Then we got the Bounty Hunter Battle Pack speeder, which I think is actually a really neat looking speeder. Like, it's so unique. And I like this one. It's got some big old engines on it. I think that this one turned out good. Now, these next 2 speeders, I believe, are the exact same build, just one is green and one is red. I put the red one up front because it matches the Republic color scheme a little bit better, but they're both pretty much equal. Up next, we got Dengar's speeder from the Eclipse Starfighter, which is honestly a pretty cool set. Like, I know that not a lot of people like these original Lego shows, but I think that the sets are sometimes just so cool. The 2014 Battleless Luke My Bark speeder is a classic. I love this one, and I love that Bark Trooper. And then after that, we got the 2013 Separatist speeder that was piloted by a commando droid in the set. Then we've got Kanan's speeder bike, which is really just a Harley in Lego Star Wars form. This one looks epic. Then we've got this Separatist speeder from Mace Windu's Starfighter. Now, I do believe that the 2013 one has a much more accurate shape, but this one just has a cooler sticker job. Then we have the Lamppost speeder, the Bark speeder with sidecar from Grogu's Escape, and Count Dooku speeder from the 2013 Duel on Geonosis. This set has been one of my white whales for a long time, and I would love to get my hands on that speeder someday. After that, we got the Bark speeder from the 501st Troopers Battle Pack, which oversized, but it looks really good. And then shortly after that, we have the Bark speeder from the Bad Batch Shuttle, which exact same build, well, almost the exact same build, but this one just has a much cooler color scheme. Then we have the original Bark speeder with sidecar, which it's honestly actually kind of crazy just how similar this Bark speeder build is to the 501st Battle Pack one. Like, they are very similar. Then coming in here at number 13, we've got Mando's speeder from the Trouble on Tatooine set, and I honestly think that this could have easily been a top 5 speeder bike, if only it wasn't for the fact that you had to sit Mando so far back just to get him to grab onto the handlebars. These next 3 speeders are all almost the exact same speeder bike design, but they do have some subtle differences. They're from the 2020 AT-AT, the UCS AT-AT, and the Snowtrooper Battle Pack, the modern one. They are very similar, but if you do look closely, you'll definitely notice some differences. The Snowtrooper Battle Pack and the UCS AT-AT speeders actually only differ by the angle of 2 pieces. So, I mean, they technically do count as different designs. And with that, we have broken the top 10. In my opinion, these speeders are the best speeder bikes that LEGO Star Wars has to offer. This one comes from the 2013 HH-87 Starhopper set. I think that the design of this is just so good. I love the dish piece at the front. It's just, everything about the speeder just looks great. The 8th best speeder bike in LEGO Star Wars, of course, in my opinion, is the speeder bike from the Solo Battle Pack. And this is just a really, really cool design in universe. I'm so glad that they made this one in LEGO. I love this speeder. I think that it is a really good design. Now coming in at number 7 is the speeder bike design from the Endor Chase diorama. And I guess technically these are 2 different speeder bike designs because you need one to be able to accommodate the Leia minifigure. So there really are 63. Yay, I was right, guys. Coming up next, we've got this swoop bike, also from the Solo movie. And this one is just a really, really cool looking speeder bike. It's got some massive engines on the back. I think that they killed it with this one. And then easily the largest speeder bike that they've ever made is this one that came with the buildable Scout Trooper figure. Now, I know that a lot of people really don't like the buildable figures, but I mean, come on. You've got to make an exception for this one. This one is awesome. I think that this Scout Trooper figure is just fantastic, and also the speeder bike just looks great. I would love to own this set one day. I just genuinely think that this speeder bike is really cool. Now, here at number 4 is the other speeder bike from the Bad Batch shuttle. I think that this speeder bike is so cool. I love the lime green color. I love the really unique shape, especially the front of it. It is just not something that you see very much in LEGO Star Wars, and I think that they really did a good job with this one. I love seeing this one. I love that this one exists. Now, what is, in my opinion, the 3rd best speeder in all of LEGO Star Wars, well, speeder bike, is this green speeder from the Rogue One Rebels Battle Pack. I think that this one is just fantastic. I love that half of the set is devoted to the wall over there because it really made them get more creative with that speeder than they would have otherwise. And I think it was very much for the benefit of the set, and it just turned out great. Now, coming in at number 2 is the other swoop bike from the Solo swoop bike sets. And both of these swoop bikes were awesome, but I think that this one is just a little bit better than the other one. It's got a more dynamic look and feel to it, and the sticker detail on it is just so good. This is just one of those sets that you kind of forget exists. I mean, I completely forgot about it until I started making this video, but holy smokes, both of those speeders are top 10 speeders, and this is just a really good set, honestly. And now, here we go. In my opinion, which, as you know, objectively is the most correct opinion on the planet, the best speeder bike in all of LEGO Star Wars is the speeder bike from the Ambush on Ferrix set. This speeder bike is just seriously so good. I love the use of the rubber whip piece that you wrap around the front of the speeder there, and just like the colors are really nice. It's just such a Star Wars color to have that dark red with the dark tan. I mean, they even paid a ton of attention to the greebling on the underside of this speeder. Like, everything about the speeder is just so well done. The attention to detail is remarkable, and plus they utilize some really cool building techniques in this speeder bike here. This is definitely, in my opinion, the best speeder bike that they have ever made in all of LEGO Star Wars. And well, that is the end of the video there. I know that there were some like advent calendar speeder bikes or something that I kind of ignored them because they're advent calendar speeder bikes. But if there were any that I forgot about, please comment them down below. Let me know which ones I forgot about and where you would have ranked them in this list.